Welcome everybody to our fourth episode on this podcast about driving, about cars, and all that kind of stuff that
Yes.
you know. So, as always, I'm here with Profe Peter. How are
Yes.
you, Profe Peter?
Yeah, thank you, Ignabriel. Thank you for having me here again in this fourth episode of the podcast. Yeah, I'm great. I'm feeling great to speak about some new thing you have to know when you are about to drive a car. So,
Mhm.
please, what is the thing that we have to discuss today, Ignabriel?
So, today's topic is things we have to be aware of when we are driving.
Yes.
So we have 7 points, and the first one is that we have to be aware of our condition, our mental condition and physical condition.
Yes. Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, that is important that when you are driving, because in the last episode we talk about things that you have to be aware before driving. Now we are talking about what you have to do after driving, and after when driving as well, you have to be aware of the environment, well aware of the environment. So if you drive under the influence of substances, you're not going to be as same aware as you will be without consuming them. So if you drink, you don't have to drive. If you are taking medication or you are taking some drugs, smoking some shit or something, you don't have to drive. That is important because it's a risk not only for you but for the rest of the people.
Oh yes, yes. We can cause an accident if
Yes, yes,
we
yes,
drive.
yeah. Because your reaction time is going to be longer, so you're not going to brake as soon as you have to brake. I
Uh-huh.
mean, it's more probably that happens. So you have to be aware.
Definitely. So, the second point that we must be aware of when we are driving is the things that might cross in front of us when we are driving.
Yes, yes, because you're not going to drive in the same conditions all the time. The conditions are going to be different. You are going to be driving on the highway sometime, then you're going to be driving on a narrow street. So in all of the environments, you have to be aware of the surroundings. Like, for example, if some animal crosses suddenly the lane, you have to be aware of that. So you brake or you avoid the animal. Or even speaking of driving in a narrow street, you can find, I don't know, pedestrians crossing when they are not allowed to, where they are not allowed to,
Uh-huh.
and you have to be aware of that because you have to brake. Yeah, because the responsibility that the the fault is from the pedestrian, but the most dangerous thing is that you crash the pedestrian. So the pedestrian is going to lose more than you. So you
Yeah,
have to brake. You have to be aware of that fault. You are the main causes of the cause of some problem there. So you have to be aware of that. The things crossing. I don't know, maybe a child crossing or a dog or whatever is crossing. You have to be driving this driving carefully.
uh-huh.
Hmm.
Oh yes. Um, well, the third point that we need to pay attention to
Hmm.
are others reckless drivers. What, how this kind of driver behave?
Well, a reckless driver can be, I don't know, driving faster than the speed limit
Uh-huh.
or passing through the right or not even to always passing through the left and will be, I don't know, driving through the bus lane. So or whatever. So you can find or you could find some reckless driving even when a person is not aware of the surroundings and then misses a sign, a stop sign or a traffic light, a red traffic light. that also could be reckless because he or that driver, she or he, has to be aware of the surroundings, because that behavior is reckless, not to be aware of the surroundings, because you can cause lots of problems without being aware of the surroundings. So that also could be reckless, and also as well speeding and passing through different lanes that you are not allowed to. That is recklessness in the
Oh
driving.
yes, oh yes, and that leads us to our next point, that is being aware of the road conditions. What things we have to be aware when we are driving about the road environment?
Yeah, when you are driving, you can face sometimes some right curves, some grades, some hill. So you have to select this right gear to climb a hill or to down a grade. You know, you have to use the brake motor to go down a grade and a low gear to climb a hill. So also that you have to do, and also you have speed bumps. Also you have a lots of speed bumps that are usually signed in the right place, but there are some speed bumps that are not painted at all and that are not signed neither. So you
Yeah,
have
that's
to
true.
you have to drive carefully. You have to drive defensively, so you can go to the speed that is necessary to avoid these speed bumps, or not to avoid them, but to avoid to pass them too fast. So you look at it, you brake, and you pass it through in the right speed. And also in the intersections, the pedestrian zone, the yield sign, that is the triangle sign, the yield, and the stop sign as well. All of that is there are the signs, and also the marks on the ground, because there are marks on the ground that are traffic signs as well. Okay, there are lots of marks on the ground. Are the road dividers, the lane mark, and the yield line, the crosswalk are painted on the into the tarmac, you know. And you can find as well temporary transit signs in parts on places that are working, building stuff, or making a repairing, or I don't know, doing something to the street. You have to be aware in these environments with the temporary transit signs, because you have to follow them. That is, you have to follow them. You can face here potholes, curves, a lot of warnings, and so on.
And what about the weather conditions?
Oh,
For example, if it rains, or if I don't know, what do we have to be aware of considering the weather?
Well, considering the weather, you're gonna find two types of difficulties. You know, the visibility difficulty and the grip with the pavement. You know, with the visibility, you can face some fog, some rain, some the darkness in the night. That affects your visibility. You're not going to be able to look ahead, lot to react. So you have to be even more careful when you're driving. You have to drive more defensively.
Oh, yes.
And also you can find the grip difficulty, that is to lose the grip to the pavement. So there you can find water with the aquaplaning effect. You can find dust, because when rains as well, the dust in the pavement starts to feel like it was, I don't know, oil. So it makes it slippery, make it more slippery. Yeah. Also you can find mud, you can find potholes, and the most dangerous ones are the snow condition and the ice. That is the most dangerous. The ice condition is the most dangerous, because it can increases your distance of braking when you stop the car in 10 times, up to 10 times, even more.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot, because you lose all the grip. It's like sliding with a ski. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Hmm?
Oh yeah, that sounds dangerous.
It is.
Not being able to stop at all.
It is. There are videos in the social network that shows that a lot. So look for them.
Oh yes, oh yes. So, well, our next point would be to be aware of something inside the car. For example, the dashboard.
The dashboard. Yeah. Yeah, because the dashboard has all the information of your car. You have to your RPM counter. You have to speed meter. You have the fuel gauge and the temperature gauge.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And as well, you have lights that shows you information about something that is not working well, like I don't know, the battery sign that informs you about the electrical system, the oil sign about informing about the correct level of oil, the braking one that informs you about the right level of braking oil, and so on. The motor failure. You have lots of information, even the minimum condition of the minimum level of fuel is also important. So in the dashboard you have all of that. You have to be aware of that, because when you're driving you can face, I don't know, that some light turns up, and that could lead to a failure. For example, the temperature, if you're driving through a highway like for a lot of time, and then you'll see in your dashboard that the light of the motor temperature turns on. So that means that you have a problem with the cooling system. So if it overheats, you may lose your motor. So when it pumps up, that light pumps up, you have to stop immediately. In the first time you have to stop, and then so you can fix that failure and care for your motor and your car. So it's a very important Ignabriel, yes.
Oh yes, Profe Peter. So I think we have covered all the points that we had for today. So what is your final advice for drivers, for new drivers and every driver on the world?
Well, when you're about to drive, you have to be physically and emotionally aware, and emotionally good, aware of you to drive. If you are feeling sad or feeling angry, maybe your driving is going to be different. So drive relaxed, drive with time, anticipate the things, try to look further than the next thing here, just further, so you can brake earlier, you can see the traffic signs and respect the speed limit, and also you don't pass through bumps or speed bumps too fast. So even to be aware of the environment, that is the main thing that I want to say to you.
Yeah, thank you for your advice, Profe Peter.
Advice.
These are all advices to have a safer driving.
Yeah.
And also we must remind the new drivers to drive defensively.
Drive defensively, in the right speed, add with time, not driving aggressively too fast. Yes.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Thank you very much for everything, Profe Peter.
Thank you, Ignabriel, for having me here again with some advices for you, for the new drivers that are listening to this, and of course the old drivers too, because we have to improve our our traffic education. We are the car education, everything with the the straight infrastructure, education could be.
Yes.
Yes. This is for you. We do it for you. So thank you for listening to us. Thank you for a new chapter, and see you in the next chapter.
Until the next time. See you later.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.